All right, back to work. Back to work. Break time is over. I missed you guys yesterday. What the heck happened since the last time we spoke? Boy, markets ripping higher on a 2-day short squeeze binge after the FOMC announcement yesterday afternoon. Now, here's the good news, though. Anytime we see a big short squeeze like this, there are plenty of ways to make money the following day. But tonight, I'll talk about my 3 favorite ways to make money after a big short squeeze. And if we're lucky, if the trading gods are shining down on us for tomorrow, we'll get one of my favorite, a bonus trade we're tracking for tomorrow. We might not get it, but I want to make sure you guys are ready for that one bonus trade. I'm going to cover that towards the end of the video lesson tonight. So we have a lot to cover in one of the most important videos of the week this week. And as always, I'm going to cover my favorite trades in the video tonight. I want to make sure you guys have a game plan to make some money on Friday. Now, before we jump in and get the party going tonight, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I don't want you to miss tomorrow night's video, so make sure you subscribe. If you like these lessons, if you enjoy these videos tonight, give me a thumbs up here on the video. Give me a hell yeah down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. I missed you guys last night. It was not fun being away from the desk last night. That's all right. We're back in the saddle here once again. It's been a great week so far. Let's finish up with some more green on Friday. Now, you probably don't need me to tell you this, right? But everything's pretty bullish here right now. Starting off on the 60-minute time frames. Get the Nasdaq and the triple Qs. I got the Emini and the SPY. Remember, I like to use the 60-minute charts to plan our trades for the following day. And then the good stuff, right? The good stuff is on the tick charts. Later on tonight, we'll drill down to our tick charts and talk entry tactics, right? Tick charts are better for entry tactics. So we'll start off in the big picture on the 60, and we'll drill down and talk entries on the tick charts as we go deeper. What's the most important thing right now the 60-minute charts are telling us? No, it's not the bullish momentum. That's definitely important. It's the size. The sheer size of these moves we've seen on both the E-mini and the NASDAQ. Anytime we see a real big move like this, we have to think, are the buyers really going to want to buy high up here? How many buyers can there really be after that squeeze going higher? So in a situation like this, we're looking for a pretty deep pullback, right? And a retest of the high. A deep pullback to attract in more buyers at a good price, right? Deep pullback to attract in more buyers at a good price and a retest of that high. Now, that's a very simple way to think about it. If we play our cards right, for tomorrow, there's ways to make money on the pullback. Got to time that properly because, as you saw today, it can be difficult to pick a top on this. But I think if we play our cards right, there's ways to make money on the pullback. Definitely ways to make money with some bear traps on that deep pullback, and a couple different ways to do it on the way back up to retest the high. So like I said, there's a lot of ways to make money in this scenario, both the long side and the short side, and we're going to go into a lot more detail because that's just a very simple way of thinking about it. Now, before we dive into the entry tactics, cover my favorite setups and some bonuses later on in the video, let's just double check the calendar for tomorrow because tomorrow's a Friday. Fridays are a very specific day of the week, at least for me. There are 4 things you want to keep on your radar here as we go into the last day of the week here this week. First of all, you might have heard this. We had the big Apple earnings a few moments ago after the close, and unfortunately, I couldn't wait around too late tonight to wait until after the open. So we're going to see some reaction, I would imagine, overnight here from the Apple earnings. But more importantly, though, tomorrow morning, right, the first Friday of the month, we got the employment number coming out at 8:30 Eastern time. That's something on our radar for tomorrow. The ISM Services Index tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern time. If you know me or if you're a member of our trade room, you know you always want to pay attention whenever you have news at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And the final thing on our mind for tomorrow, and one of the most important things about Fridays, is the Friday mindset. Remember, Fridays, they get low volume, they get illiquid after lunch. My focus on a Friday is to get into trades as early as I can, but then try to leave a runner into lunch, into the afternoon, because Fridays, they get low volume, they get illiquid, and I'll tell you, we oftentimes get some of our biggest winning trades, our biggest runners happen on Friday afternoon. So the Friday mindset is early in, remove the risk, leave a runner, and I'll tell you, if you guys are familiar with Fridays, you know Fridays can make your entire week in the afternoon with those runners. So be aware of the Apple reaction overnight. Employment number tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern time. ISM at 10 o'clock. And again, that Friday mindset, baby, early in, and then try to leave that runner. Now, back to our charts, though. It's good to know when the news is tomorrow. Got some big non-farm news tomorrow morning. But the money is made, right? The money is made on the charts. Now, let's go over my favorite trades here setting up for tomorrow morning. I get the S&P and SPY ready to go, NASDAQ and the triple Qs. Let's start first here on the E-mini. We'll wrap things up here on the NASDAQ here tonight. Keep in mind that both these markets are very, very similar. As I mentioned in the introduction, we're bullish right now, but the size of that move is the big clue up here. Expecting a deep pullback and a retest of that high, and there are plenty of ways, like I mentioned earlier, to make money in this stuff. Let's now drill down now to some tick charts. We use tick charts in our trade room. I think tick charts make everything easier, if you want my opinion. This is a 7,000 tick chart in the upper left-hand corner. And if you're watching for the first time right now, that is the 21 EMA. Nothing special about it, just a default 21 exponential moving average. Now, what are the tick charts telling us right now? Well, there's two big clues here on the tick charts. The first one is that big move higher. All right, now, anytime we see a big move like this, we expect a two-legged pullback, a retest of the high, and usually a double top off of that high. All right, you can start to see now kind of how we can start making money. If we time this properly, we can look for shorts off the high. Love the idea of combining off the low of this pop and grind channel, right? Buying down here and then looking for that double top off the high as well. So the size of this move is the biggest clue. And again, later on in the video tonight, I'm going to cover what we really hope for tomorrow, that one bonus setup. I'll cover that later on in the video lesson. So how do we make money on the short? We can't force the short, very specific there. How do we make money going back up and then shorten it back down again? Let's talk about. Now, first of all, to make money on the way going lower, can we all agree right now it's very difficult to pick tops in a bull market like this? If there's one thing you've learned over the past few weeks, it can be very, very difficult to pick those tops. The best way that I know to pick a top like this in an overall bull market for a big move like this is with a pattern called a crown reversal. We have a lot of examples of these in our free video courses. And if you basically wrap together a failure pattern along with a bull trap, you get a crown reversal. Now, this, I think, makes a lot of sense, right? We're very bullish right now, but we're way, way high up. So I need to get some rookies, get some inexperienced traders to buy high right now so I can then use their stops to fuel this move going lower. All that bullish momentum, I got to make sure we trap in some buyers up here and fuel that move going down. That's called a crown reversal during the pullback. Now, I want you to see how I draw this. I mentioned earlier, whenever we see a big move like this, it's a two-legged pullback and a retest of the high. Now, in my free video course, I talk a lot about measured moves, ABCD patterns. Imagine one leg, two leg, that's your 100% extension. Imagine us going a little bit more than that 100% extension. So when I talk about a crown reversal on this, I want you to think about where that target's going to be, right? Think about that target going lower. It'll usually be a little bit more than a measured move, right? I don't know enough about it right now, but once we start getting that, again, measured move, think about that as a good target. If we're lucky, it'll line up around the high, the low of that pop and grind channel on this, all right? So that's the crown reversal on the way off the high. Lower low in price and that bull trap. Again, in my free video courses, this wraps together a failure pattern and a bull trap. Now, once we get down around these lows, okay, now we want to start buying that nice deep pullback. Now we're in an area where there's some meat on the bone for the buyers to come in. As we start rolling lower, let's try to rope in some of those sellers. My favorite way to trade deep pullbacks is I don't like to pick the bottom. You know, picking bottoms can be difficult because sometimes it keeps on going. So rather than trying to pick the bottom, what I'll do is I'm going to wait for the price to pull back. And once I start seeing sellers try to short this, Once they try a couple times, now I know exactly where their stops are, and I can use those stops to fuel this move going back up to retest the high. This is a classic failure pattern like I teach in our free video course, right? Now, where does the market want to go? The market wants to go back up and take out that high, right? There's one more way to profit on this as it goes higher. As it races higher like this, what's going to happen is this. The move off the high is going to bring in the Fibonacci traders, right? The pullback traders, the bounce traders, right? As we start getting that 61, right? That 70% pullback, what will happen is a bunch more rookies will start coming in. Let them try once, let them try twice, and then I'm going to use what's called a bear trap to finish that move back up to retest the high. Think about this scenario and really memorize this scenario. Anytime we see a big move, I don't care what day of the week, I don't care what market it is, I'm looking for that crown reversal to trap rookies in who are buying too high and fuel the move off the high. Once we get that nice deep pullback, now we're in a great spot to buy, but I don't like picking bottoms on this. Let those bears try a couple times. Use that failure pattern to fuel the move now going higher. One of my favorite trades in these is as it pops back up on a faster time frame, this will start feeling very bearish. Rope in those rookies. Let them try a couple times and then just run right over their stops and go back up to retest the high. Crown reversal, failure, bear trap on the way back up. Now, I'm sure if you're watching for the first time right now, you're probably like, what the heck is this guy smoking? What do all these terms mean? This might be the first time you ever heard about these patterns. That's okay. I teach this entire system. I teach all the entry tactics, and I got hundreds of examples of crown reversals and failures and bear traps all wrapped into our free video classes on the website. What I'll do is I'll put a link up here for you. Don't you worry. I'll put a link up top there for you. Hit that link that popped up and take that free video course, because first of all, I'm going to teach you a strategy that we use every morning in our members trade room to know exactly where the best trades are going to be that day. Then we'll take it one step further. I'll teach you 4 of my favorite entry patterns to help you start making money on your own. The markets are way too good not to be making good money right now. So if you're missing the best trades, taking too many losses, hit that link up top there. Take that free video course. Perfect for someone trying to make the jump into full-time trading. And if you can't get that link up top there, not to worry, I'll put all the important links tonight down the description of the YouTube video. I'll also put my Twitter feed down there. I post a lot of updates during the day on Twitter. So free video course links down bottom of the description. I'll have my Twitter there. Follow me there. You get more updates here during the day. Now, we are not done yet, right? We are definitely not done yet. We got plenty more to talk about here right now. So stay tuned for more. And again, towards the end of the video tonight, I get that extra bonus lesson I'm going to throw in towards the end, so I'll give you reason to stick around all the way to the end. All right, so we've now talked about the crown reversal off the high, right? The trap off the low and the run back up right now. Let's talk about 2 more entry patterns, because as I mentioned earlier, we're way high up right now. So do you really think a lot of buyers are going to want to buy way up here? Who's trading up there? Who's trading up there? Well, but first of all, professionals are buying low. Where do you think those pros are taking profit? Yeah, they'll take the bulk of their profit off at that high. So is it safe to say that a lot of sellers will enter the market up there? Probably. Right? A lot of buyers who bought low, they're taking profit, they're selling their way out. And is it safe to assume, I'll bet a lot of the bigger players, the big institutional traders, they're going to short the heck right out of the double top, because we're so high up here right now. So I like the idea of shorting off that top, but you guys know this about me. I don't believe in picking tops and bottoms. So instead of simply shorting that top, what I'd rather do is let's see if we can get some inexperienced traders coming in and trying to buy into it. And if I can get another one of those 2-try failures, I would love to grab that short off the high. Now, this can be a very good risk-reward trade, right? The risk being here and the reward being here, because we know where the market wants to go now, right? The market has one spot on its radar. It wants to take out that low, because oftentimes these become one big trading range, right, after a big move like this. So again, in my free video classes, we talk about failure patterns. This would be a 2-try failure, because who knows, right? It might keep going. But after a big move like this is definitely worth a shot if we can get those buyers to come in and give us those stops to get run. That's the key, right? In my eyes, the easiest way to make money consistently is to trap inexperienced traders on the wrong side of the market and use their stops to fuel your profit targets, all right? We call those double top reversals. Now, let's face it, right? I love the idea of that failure pattern off the high, but we might not get it. The market may punch lower and begin to grind down. All right. We oftentimes get these runs up, and there's so many people taking profit up there. There's so many bears enter the market. We don't get that beautiful failure pattern back down again, right? Oftentimes it'll go up and get whacked right back down. If it gets whacked right back down, promise me one thing, you're not going to chase it going lower, because as you chase it going lower, who's down there? More buyers. It's a bull market right now. We cannot sell as it goes lower. Watch closely here. I'm going to draw a trend line now off that low. I'm going to bring it up around the high. And you guys know this, right? If you're a student of mine, you know this. What do? We look left, we find prior swings, and we short that first test off the high of a channel, all right? These are really easy trades to take too, because you've already got that momentum running lower in your favor. You already know where the market wants to go. The only condition on this is I want to get into that short, right? In this case, it could be a bull trap, like I'm showing right here. It could be a pop up, right? A pop up above the moving average. Buyers try to get long, right? Horrible spot to be a buyer right now. We slip the order right underneath those lows, right, for that failure pattern and run back down again. So it could be a failure. It could be a trap. The one condition, though, is we must get into that trade short before we take out that low, all right? It ain't worth it selling into that low. All right, guys? So a quick recap here. We've covered a lot, right? It's that crown reversal. It's that lower low in price, that trap high, right? That crown reversal. That's the way I like to pick tops with an overextended market like this. As it rolls lower, we then, as it runs lower on the faster time frames, this will feel very bearish. We trap those bears in. We're not picking bottoms. We're fueling that run with stops. And remember, as it goes higher, right? As it goes higher, here now comes in, right? All the golden ratio traders, right? All the golden boys and girls, they come in and they go, oh, we're bearish now, right? I hope they do. Let them try a couple times. Think about that higher high in price. As they get short on this, their stops are right there to fuel that punch back up to retest the high. We need that fuel. We need that fuel right here, because we're not buying low anymore. That bear trap on the way back up to retest the high. Once we retest the high, everybody who stayed patient on that pullback, they're bailing now, right? They know it's a big move up. They know we probably don't have much more space to go. They take their profit at the highs. Big boys and girls, right? The big institutional traders, they come in and drop a dime on this because they know how high up we are as well. And in come the rookies, right, who unfortunately didn't have the guts to buy the deep pullback. They got trapped. They start chasing this now, and they start buying high, and we use either that two-try failure off the high, or what oftentimes happens is it just gets whacked back down and starts grinding down. We look left. We know where that low is. Do we still have space to ride it? Mark that low. Mark that high. Look left, and you want that first test right off the high of that channel. All right. Now, obviously, we might get all these tomorrow. We might get one or two. But my job is not to predict. My job is to make sure that you and I have a roadmap. No matter how much we get of this, right? We have a game plan to capitalize on these moves. If we go higher in the Apple earnings report, right? What changes? Nothing. Nothing changes whatsoever if we keep going higher. So just be aware of that. If we keep going higher, don't chase after it. This is a huge move here. Okay, let's talk about ranges. Let's talk about ranges, range-bound markets. If you know me, if you're a student of mine in the trade room, or if you're taking my free video classes, you know how much I love range-bound markets, right? Ranges are the easiest type of market to trade. I know it sounds crazy. Everyone thinks trends are easy, but no. Once you learn how to trade ranges, let's now talk NASDAQ and the triple Qs. NASDAQ is the exact same situation. It's a very big short squeeze. I'm looking for that deep pullback and a retest of that high. Let's now look here on the tick chart on the NASDAQ. Now, one interesting difference about the NASDAQ tick chart and the E-mini tick chart, if I can quickly go back here, you'll notice on the E-mini is that pop and grind, right? Pop and grind channels, I know I didn't cover a lot of this, but pop and grind channels are fantastic, right? For that nice deep pullback and that run right there. That's a pop and grind channel. We talk about these sharp patterns in the video courses, right? You guys know how much we love pop and grind channels. The NASDAQ is a little bit different, right? I can't draw that as a pop and grind because now it puts us way down here, and that's just straight unrealistic. Maybe it will happen tomorrow. Probably not, though, right? Probably not. I'd love to think we'll go all the way back, but I would be surprised if it made it that low, right, on the chart. Could possibly do it, but probably not. This is more of a spike in channel. Now, why do I mention that? Well, inside of our members video classes, we talk about this pattern a lot. When I have a spike in channel pattern, spike in channel patterns, they love to pull back into the base of that channel. All right, this is kind of the buy zone in a spike in channel. So if you think about what we just talked about on the E-mini, and you think about that two-legged pullback, right, a little bit more than a measured move, you know what I mean? That same kind of game plan. That spike in channel area is a really, really good spot for a bear trap and a run right back up to retest the high. Just some food for thought, right, for tomorrow, because that's kind of one relatively significant difference, but still kind of blends into the same game plan here for tomorrow. That is a great clue. What I really want to talk about right now, though, is a range. All right, because ranges, again, before, like I said earlier, are really some of my favorite types of markets to trade here. Now, the most important thing about range-bound markets is they act like magnets and they love to rotate. So if we start going sideways after hours, right, which would make perfect sense, because after such a big move higher, we don't think a lot of buyers are going to buy high. But after such a strong move like this, nobody might dare sell, and nobody might have the guts, right, to get out of their trades. You know what I mean? So we might go sideways here overnight into a big news event coming here for tomorrow. Now, if that is the case, right, we still look for, it's almost same game plan. We still look for that 1, 2, right? Imagine that two-legged pullback a little bit more than a measured move, right? So same basic idea. The same entry pattern is pretty similar, right? We roll lower, we trap those bears in, right? As we try to go higher, we look for that bear trap going in. So not a lot changes. The only difference is we don't get that crown reversal off the high. All right. So if we go sideways, the game plan is pretty much the same thing. We wait for that pullback, ideally into support. We trap the bears in. We don't pick the bottoms. We sort of ride it back higher here. And as we're riding it back higher, we trap the bears in again, use their stops to finish off that move. One of my favorite trades, though. All right, let's talk about that bonus trade let's talk about earlier. One of my favorite trades after a big move like this, if we go into a trading range, is a fake out breakout off the high. If we get lucky tomorrow, right? If we get what we want tomorrow, it'll try to pop up. Big move going higher already. So we have to think, what's happening up here? Probably not a lot of serious big buyers up there. So if I can get a run above a range, and if I can get those buyers to come in, we assume rookie buyers, to try once, to try twice. This is that crown reversal, right? That crown reversal. Now, as the market drops off that high now, where does it want to go? Remember, ranges are balanced. We mark off the amount above, we mark off the amount below. That gives us now the target underneath. Now, rinse and repeat. As we roll lower, momentum starts to build, right? It starts to crash down, and I'm sure a lot of rookie traders will think this is a reversal. No, it's probably not. Not after a big move going higher. It's probably just a nice juicy pullback, right, in an overall bull market. We start seeing bears come in. Once, twice, stops get lit up like a Christmas tree, and the market sprints higher. Now, where does the market want to go right now? It wants to go two places. It wants to go back to the top of that range, and it wants to punch out that high, right? So our job right now is to trap the bears in, let those bears try a couple times. We're going to need their stops to fuel that move going higher. Crown reversal, 2-try failure, and again, as you rotate back higher, think about that higher high in price and that bear trap. If we get really lucky tomorrow, there'll be a channel coming off that high, off that low, Mwah, that is a gorgeous, almost a guaranteed winner right there, because it's a bull market into a trading range. And again, we know the market wants to go, right? It wants to punch out that high, right? That's where you leave your runner. And again, with tomorrow being a Friday, end of the day Friday, right? They love to run. Now, one thing you've got to be careful with is trying to short that top right now, because ranges, they can really start to get really aggressive. So be very careful on the short up there. Take some profit, and then what I'll look for tomorrow is a half size position, 1, 2, crown reversal, right? And then back down again, right? That move back down again off of that high. All right, guys? Again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't care what day of the week. I don't care what market you're trading. If we make a big move higher, memorize this game plan if we go into a trading range, right? And we do this quite a bit. We've probably seen a couple hundred of these this year in the morning trade room already, right? Big move. The big move is the variable. That's the variable. All right, guys. Now get a game plan for tomorrow. Like I said earlier, we might get all these. We might get 1 or 2 of them. I can't make predictions, right? Nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, but we do know one thing. We are ready technically and hopefully mentally here for tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, you know that non-farm payroll number is going to throw some curveballs, right? I do a pretty good job on these videos anticipating for tomorrow, but tomorrow morning, the key is come out and join us. Come trade with me tomorrow every morning in our morning trade room. I can't think of any better way to learn to do this the right way than look over my shoulder and do it with me. I'll put all the membership links. I'll definitely put the free video course links, and I'll put the Twitter feed down in the description of the YouTube video. I would recommend start with the free classes first, right? Get the basic fundamentals going. Maybe start making some money on your own with all the setups out there. Get yourself warmed up and ready to go. And sometime soon, I'll see you trading with us sometime soon, hopefully in the morning trade room. If you got questions or feedback or having trouble getting access to our free classes, whatever the question may be, don't be a stranger. We're always here. Call the office, use Skype, use email. I got live chat as well. So if you need help, definitely don't be a stranger. Reach out and I'll give you help for whatever you may need help with along the way. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. What a fantastic week. I'll tell you, it's been a great week. I'm a bit sad that earnings season has come to an end. We always seem to have a really good couple of weeks during earnings season, but that's all right though. Big day tomorrow, big week next week. We are counting down the time before end of the year. This is the best time of the year to be a trader. As the weather gets colder, the markets heat up. So definitely don't miss tomorrow. Hopefully you learned a lot in tonight's video lesson. Hope you use this knowledge. Make a killing tomorrow as well. Hopefully I'll see you sometime soon in the morning trade room. If not, no worries. We'll come back next week, next Monday evening, and we'll do it all again. In the meantime, be well. Be nice to each other out there. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.